We're twitching.
Yep. And there's like a MA warning you got to click through.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Medicare Advantage, was it? No. Sorry. I work at a healthcare company, so every time I hear like an acronym that's healthcare related, I'm like, ah.
Well, we're here. Let's see who shows up in the chat. I had 10 people. It says 10 people are watching this thing right now.
What? On Twitch? That's amazing. That's like the highest we've ever had, ever.
On Twitch.
On Twitch, yes.
We've had like 90 people.
Is your audio pretty good? You can hear him?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have no idea if I think I have a Twitch account.
Yeah.
We have disabled your ability to log in with your email address.
Well, good luck. Brian may not be watching the show tonight.
Hey, back off.
That's okay. You don't need to watch. You can just, although you're... who's Brian? We don't know who Brian is now.
I heard of him. Brian, remember this computer? I have to get a two-factor authentication just to log into Twitch.
I'm on. I just two-factored. Oh yeah, baby.
I two-factor too.
Hey, Grinwing20. I know nobody's handles on this. So, Whiskey Flipper, welcome to the show. Grinwing20, welcome to the show. Jabba Ruga.
Oh my God.
Jabba Ruga is Christopher Graham. I know that. Time Runner 88. I know who that is.
Yep.
Mr. Peabody 1984. What's up? Mm-hmm. We're twitching. We're twitching. Is that like twerking?
I hope not.
Me too.
I'm trying to do this one.
I saw Brian twerk at his last party. Not pretty.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's a twerker.
You had too much to drink there because you were hallucinating.
Me? Too much to drink?
What does that mean?
I don't drink.
It means we're interviewing Nolan.
Oh.
Arcadeology, Aaron.
What's happening?
Arcadeology, Aaron. I have a question for Arcadeology, Aaron. I was looking at
Give it to me.
the lips, the teeth, the dip of the tongue. The lips, the teeth, the dip of the tongue. Sally sells, she sells. Sheep, and sheep.
Hey, the lag today is really good. Like,
well, we're on Twitch, Brian. We've switched platforms. In case you didn't know.
I know I realize this.
Yep.
It's just impressive. Obviously, way better than YouTube.
Well, I think the broadcast quality is a little less on Twitch, and I'm not sure if we can tweak that or not. But I don't really care. I'm kind of pissed at YouTube.
Tell us why.
Well, everybody that's in the chat knows they made it here. I'm shocked.
Like they check Twitch every night going, hey, they didn't do it tonight.
Exactly. Or YouTube, right? They freaking banned us. I mean, we joke about getting banned, but we literally got a strike and we cannot stream live on YouTube.
I mean, I thought it was an April Fool's joke, but Adam doesn't really
joke. Oh my gosh. Actually, that's all I could think about was like, I'm going to have to frickin' announce this and nobody's going to fucking believe it.
So, all right.
Wow.
What's the best arcade April Fool's joke you've seen?
What?
Let me think about that.
I can tell you the best April Fool's joke I ever did to somebody, but I don't.
Oh, like there's been some good arcade ones over the years. I'm not talking about the one that's here. We can talk about this afterwards, but like there's actually been some legitimate.
Well, then you tell us one. You tell us.
All right, like what was it, 6 or 7 years ago, maybe a little bit more. Somebody put up like a Play Choice 10 cart on eBay that didn't exist, and they made up this whole thing about it. And the bidding got up to like thousands of dollars.
Well, no. What was the cart?
It was I can't remember the name of it. It was like Solar something. It was hilarious. I remember watching
Was it Solar Jetman?
No, it was some random
Because that would be an awesome play choice 10.
I can't. Well, I have Solar Jetman.
Mm-hmm.
Is that actually a play choice 10?
Yeah.
Really?
But there was a cart.
I'm not sure. Are you being the ball, Adam? I'm not sure what that.
Be the ball.
Is.
No.
No. Oh, so it's no.
Oh, yes. That was a $6 million man.
Caddyshack. Oh, I'm ordering a beer for my wife.
The only joke I can think that was an April Fool's joke, but is Polybius.
Take it back.
Want to take it back? It's a joke.
There was somebody that posted today. There was a Tempest 2 joke that
what do you
somebody
got going
posted
there?
a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this
somebody-
going anywhere? Because we have stuff to talk about, Brian.
Well, this is like the pre-show, right? I mean, you haven't run the thing yet.
It's
Don't
7:20.
waste good news.
It's April Fool's.
There's no news like good news with Gary Gnu.
Hello.
There is no news.
Hey,
All right. So did you see the one that they posted the Warrior table, the Warlords table today?
that's a
Just-
joke.
$1,000.
What's that?
It's a joke.
Wasn't it $1,000 for the Warlords table?
I feel like
No,
none of us are listening to each other.
Yeah, so somebody posted a picture of a Warlords table converted to a 4-player Star Wars.
Oh no, did not see.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm, all right. I'll just be quiet.
Did they fool you?
No, it was pretty funny. I actually think one of the April Fools is one of the days where you get to see some like really creative things come out of the arcade community. It's kind of funny. The first one I ever saw was that Play Choice 10 cart, and it was unbelievable how far that went. I mean, it was like up at like a couple $1,000 before somebody's like, "This is a joke," and they pulled it down.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
I have well, when we get to what are you working on, I bought something that everybody thought was a joke, but it wasn't on April Fool's. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Spoilers? No.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Well, let's get this started.
Oh my God, Brian asked to get us onto the road.
Nice.
Nice.
Huh. Oh, that you want to start the show.
Well, I mean, maybe.
With the paddle to the... Oh,
Live
yeah.
from KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, this is Arcade Radio.
Where I live. Run.
Coward. You survived. Are we all still here?
I think so.
It is Arcade Radio. Welcome from the Arcadosphere. This is season 5. Right? So far, am I doing okay? Where'd you guys go? Are you muted? I think they're muted.
Did you mute us?
I didn't mute it, but I think they're muted.
We're unmuted again. Hey!
Season 5
Why don't you say,
episode.
yeah, go for it. You're allowed now to say the lines, Adam.
I thought you were going to be like, hamming it up with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crack
I
a beer.
rewrote some of the lines while you were in the middle of it.
Thanks for listening in. on Twitch. This is Season 5, Episode 12 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. If you're just joining us for the first time on Twitch, you may be wondering where the other 4 seasons went and all the other episodes. Well, they're on YouTube, and we have switched to Twitch, at least for tonight, and maybe for the foreseeable future. I am your host, Adam. Well, we should probably mention the date, too, right? It is April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2021. This is not a joke, and it's about 7:24 p.m. Central. I'm your host, Adam what the hell does that say?
Terrio.
If you put a dash between the Terry and the O, that's probably I would have got it. I thought it was a Japanese word.
Terrio.
Adam Tario. I'm joined by my co-host Mark. Did you rip that off? Shields? Did you rip that off? And Paradise Arcade Shop proprietor and part-time Superman impersonator Brian Thurstonhall Armitage III. And with us tonight, Aaron Arcadeology Sanders from Conroe, Texas. Is it Conroe? Conroe?
Yep, that's right.
No, it's Cowineroe.
All right. Well, we all been working a bunch of stuff. I have a few things. I'm going to go because I've been working on my Arcade 1-Up Countercade. It's a Galaga machine. It's a very serious machine that I got last episode, and I unboxed it on the episode, and much to the chagrin of many of our listeners. And I thought, this thing is pretty cool. It's a tiny little arcade. It's basically a toy. It's not like a barcade, countertop type thing. It's a countercade, but it's not. Anyway, I went to Paradise Arcade Shop last weekend, and I got some leaf switch buttons for it, and I'm gonna mod that sucker out. So I took it apart and I started to put everything together, and I don't have all the voltages I need, so I got to figure that out. But anyway, it's 5 volts for the buttons, 5 volts for the lights, and I got these cool leaf switch replacements. But more importantly, in the arcade world, I did obtain a fire truck and a Gorf machine.
Oh,
Nice.
The fire truck is complete, and as many of you may or may not know, that was a game that was developed by Howard Delman at Atari in the mid-'70s after Superbug, which it's entirely based on. And Superbug, if you know that game, black and white with an overlay for color, and the car is centered in the middle of the screen, and the roads actually move around the car. The car stays in the center of the screen, giving you the illusion that you're moving along a road. Fire Truck's the same in its execution, except for they added a big long fire truck tail to it and made it a 2-player game. You steer in the front and you steer in the back. There's a bell on a thing and a siren, and I'm looking forward to playing that thing. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun once I get it going.
Nice. Hey, Mark, didn't you unofficially get the world record?
The
at
world
Grinkers one year?
record for fire truck. Yes, it's on video, and then we sent it in, and then they were like, "Eh."
Yeah, it's funny because Mark and I played that at Grinkers too, and it was broken when we played it.
Yeah, it was not as righteous as the one time when I was able to just channel everything. For some reason, I've dreamt about that. I don't know why, but I'm usually dressed though, so that's
a beautiful game, Fire Truck.
Yeah.
And then I got a Gorf machine, and I've kind of always wanted a full-size Gorf because of the Tron-like cabinet and the fact that it has rank lights. I'm a big fan of games that have physical elements to them. Monaco GP, Fire Truck, and now Gorf with the rank lights. But I like that there's like these things that are that they took into consideration, sort of an immersive experience when you play. That includes games like the Road Blaster's cockpit with that Fresnel lens that makes it feel like that monitor's like a 25-inch monitor when really it's a 19. So I like stuff like that. What about you guys?
Like it.
You like stuff like that?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do you still have your cockpit, Adam, or did you sell it?
No, I sold it to a fella over in California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mach 3's got the Fresnel lens too.
I have that cockpit, yeah.
Well, the Road Blaster's cockpit's like 8 feet long. It's gigantic.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's large.
Yes.
It's
Damn it! Stop it!
It's mammoth. I mean, it's
In what way do you mean
gargantuan.
it's large?
Hey, we're up to 24 viewers. That's pretty awesome. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I know this was a last-minute change, and it seemed like an April Fool's joke, but we are glad you're with us. Mark, what have you been working on?
So, let's see. Let me go back to TikTok. I am at 35,000.1. It is slow going, and when you do not post on TikTok for like a day or two, you feel like you've left your child in the car and it's really sunny outside. You know? You're like, oh shit, what did I... Oh my God, what have I done?
Mark's addicted.
So, yeah, I went to Ace Hardware, not Ace Hardware, but Ace Electronics. Yesterday, I got a 3.6 volt lithium battery to put in because old school 80s tech needs a battery to remember what time it is. And it turns out it needed an iCAD, so I had to go switch it today. And so I'm still in the middle of that. That video will be posting as soon as the show is over. I'll be editing during the show and half-ass paying attention mostly. But I actually don't have like a concluding part of that video. Like I haven't filmed like, hey, it knows what time it is now. I haven't done that. So I'll have to do that right afterwards. But, so there's that. And then I was on Facebook. I don't know what day it was, maybe last week. And I saw a yellow computer space for sale, and it had been up for 15 minutes. So then I went to my bank, and I looked at the monies in the savings and thought, hey, how much of a hit can I take? And so I took my Stranger Things savings. I was going to buy, a pin.
Oh, okay.
And I just decided, hey, let's see if this sticks to the wall. I told the guy, should I say how much I spent? Is that a lot? Is that not right?
Was it in the thousands? That's probably
It was in the thousands.
Okay, then that's good.
Let me put it this way: it was above 5,999.
Oh, you idiot!
But,
that's too much money.
But less than 6,001.
Oh no!
What? What are you talking about?
I feel like that's too much.
You would never buy that.
Dang.
For a computer space now, they're going for ridiculous money.
A yellow is like extremely
the one you want.
edge case. Yes, it's complete. It looks like it's in good shape. Of course, the guy, he found it like by a dumpster
for $50 for free.
For free, yeah. He's completely fully flush green on this, and so so I set up the shipping. Of course, he's like, I don't want them to pick it up during the day. I want to be home. So I have to pay more money to do an after hours pickup. And I'm like, okay, whatever you say, dude, and I'm like, so yeah, that's getting picked up on Saturday.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it costs less than your phone booth.
You are correct. Yeah, that phone booth was some pricey ass stuff. It's $9,400 or something.
What? So where did you get this from? Where was the computer space? Or should I not ask? Was that like a...
Oh, no, it's not. I just can't think of it. I think maybe Ohio, but I get it confused with the video vendor guy. Because he's shipping me a box of video vendor stuff that he didn't... Like I bought the video vendor, but he's like, oh, I have all this other stuff that has to do with it. And I'm like, awesome. Bitch, you need to send that.
It's always funny to me how like arcade guys are more than willing to buy like 400, 500, 800 pound items thousands of miles away. Right. With like oh, of course I bought this machine in like Connecticut or, California, whatever. Whereas the rest of the world, if you said to them, oh yeah, I found this machine on Craigslist and bought it in Connecticut, it weighs like 800 pounds. Somebody's going to bring it to me. They'd be like, are you effing crazy?
I was afraid at first, but now the first couple of times, once you get used to it and you break yourself in, you're like, oh yeah. I'm going to do this a lot.
Especially paying a stranger across the country that you've never done anything.
Yeah. Oh, friends and family, no problem.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's your mom. Okay.
Yeah, listen, I'll send you a money order.
PayPal. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. No. Tell him you'll send him a money order.
I did skeeve on his girlfriend whose PayPal. I made sure that she was legit. So
Well, that's good.
All the accounts have been, have been online at least a week, so it's fine.
Brian, what have you been working on?
Let's see. Mostly just working on the Bally Sente stuff. So finally got all the control panels in, finally got the tempered glass in. So the original Sente stuff was on Translate, and we got this special treatment for tempered glass so we can use the UV printer on it, and the ink sticks to the glass and kind of like doesn't delaminate. And they're coming out great. Having to solve a few problems with that. It's kind of funny because the original Translates were about an inch shorter than the marquee, and they had these like large plastic clips on each side. And so we're looking at the artwork going, well, do we stretch the art? Because the art's the right height, but it's not long enough.
Yeah, you go ahead and stretch it and watch people never buy your shit.
Well, right. So what we did was we just made a larger background. We just took the background color for the marquees and made it longer. Getting a little bit of a pushback on some of that because we were selling, right now I'm selling them as kits. So anything that we have the cart and the artwork for, we're selling as a full kit as opposed to just the artwork or the cart. Had several people claim, I already have the cart for this, but they've got one that they hacked together and we're trying to keep them original right now. We'll see later. I might do it separately, but that's been my major project lately.
Cool.
So, been a lot of fun.
Aaron, what the hell have you been working on?
I've got like 4 or 5 things going on at once. So, the latest one that I've started on, I have a lot of, duplicates of stuff of like, I have a track and field in a shoddy cabinet and I ship in another cabinet and, need to swap parts and stuff. So I have the, not the deluxe motion sit down Space Harrier, but kind of the mid-level sit down that just kind of has the static chair.
Yeah.
And, I bought a cabinet from somebody, I think up in like Maine, and had it shipped down. But the Enduro racers, there was a certain few of them that were like bolted on to the base where they had the the bike for the Enduro racer game. But what they were was converted Space Harrier cabinets, and they put that Enduro racer side art over it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it was, it being on a pedestal and everything, and it's, kind of a ride-on game. Nobody messed with the cabinet. There's no cigarette burns on the bezel. And then I was able to peel the Enduro Racer side art off, and I have pristine Space Harrier art underneath. So
nice.
I'm doing that. I linked up with a guy via Arcade Jason. The guy's name is Sean Dotson. He has a arcade PCB repair on YouTube, a channel. He does really thorough videos. He's really good. But I'm sending him my Cinematronics Boxing Bugs boards to repair. He's one of the few guys that was able to.
Very cool.
Or who was willing to
Brian,
do it. And then
Brian's
have
a big
cool
fan
YouTube
of
video of him
Cinematronics
doing
too.
the repair, so that'll be nice. I have another interesting trade in the works. I have a guy that is a longtime collector, and I have this prototype cabinet for a game called Williams Predators. They had it was kind of like a Sinistar-esque game where they had 4 linked cabinets that had different birds of prey, and one was like a master unit, and the others were slave units. I have like one of the cabinets, but it still has, the Williams sticker saying it's a prototype and what it is and all that kind of good stuff. So the guy is wanting to trade me so he's doing replicas of Splat, Inferno, and Aztec. He's doing all the boards. He's doing complete builds of these games. So he's going to do I think he's going to release like 25 completely built games of all 3 of those.
Oh my God.
So he wants that cabinet, and I think we're potentially talking about him giving me an Inferno for this cabinet. So
sweet. Well, that's some good stuff, man. And I don't know if you guys remember Aaron from previous shows, but he's also been in the chat. He's a friend of the show. We're glad to have you back. So, and we'll introduce you again at least 6 or 7 more times. So that gives us to the next section of the show, which is...
I always felt that the true stars at Atari was engineering.
Oh, you're an inventor.
Yes, I am.
What have you invented?
A lot of things.
Like?
Like a lot of things. Like things that you've heard of.
Like?
Well, things that you will have heard of, okay? Patents are pending.
Patents are pending.
Arcade gadgets with Brian the Clown.
hungry? What is that? Is that you? That's not you.
What? That's just nifty. Welcome to the new product segment. I don't know if I can actually paste stuff in. Can I paste stuff in Twitch? Let's see.
Oh, let's see.
Oh,
I see it.
Bingo. There we go.
It's clickable.
Can we mute Adam? Is that possible? Like,
no.
Like a little thing where we can vote to mute,
like a 90-day Adam strike.
Have you ever been kicked out of like a Call of Duty? You know, where everybody votes because they think that you're an asshole or something. What I like is that it lets you vote if you're gonna get kicked out too, and I'm like, no, you know.
No, you can't vote me off this island. I invented it.
So the guys at Eldorado Games did a reproduction bezel for Star Wars, which is pretty cool. Those are really one of the harder things to find intact. Cabinets have been redone by a number of people, but finding the actual bezels, as people know, the Allen One guys did the yoke. That was their big project. So now you could pretty much build a Star Wars cabinet from scratch. Which is pretty cool. With the new DVGs that Fred has been doing, which are the vector generators, you can make your own Star Wars cabinet running off modern hardware.
Wait a minute. So AVG or DVG, or what's the diff?
So an AVG is a chip on a board.
Right.
The DVG is a USB vector pattern generator that can hook up to a computer and play vector MAME on a vector monitor.
Yes, that would be the way to do it.
So you could essentially take a Raspberry Pi and run vector MAME.
We need to have Barry Shumover back on the show.
Yeah, well, no, it's not Barry's project. This is actually Fred's project.
Oh, Fred.
Come to Pasco or whatever?
Yeah.
Fred Armisen?
Fred, who got kicked off of KLOV.
It doesn't take much to get kicked off KLOV these days.
I should try. That should be like a goal for the week.
I've had somebody yell at me, but not ever.
Oh, what'd you get yelled at for?
I don't know. I think I was taking things personally. So I don't remember what the topic was, but
so bummer, dude.
Whiskey Flipper is commenting that all you need is a vector monitor, and those are a dime a dozen. I will say that Barry, who we just mentioned, is doing another run of the vector chassis. They will hook up to most CRT tubes that are available out of TVs. And then the one thing you're missing is the yoke, and that hopefully will be solved in the next month.
Okay.
Oh.
Sweetness.
So aside from that, just the Sente stuff that I was talking about. So,
can you tell us, I mean, you kind of glossed over that in the beginning. That's fine. Can you tell us which kits are available?
Yeah, so right now, I'm going to pull up the website. So they actually are on our website. I haven't started advertising them yet actively and giving out links just because there is still a little bit of work to do to streamline the production. If I'm in Minnesota, I can make them easily, but when I'm not, it's a little more difficult. So, complete kits, Snacks and Jackson, Chicken Shift, Off the Wall, Goalie Ghost, and soon we'll hopefully have Snake Pit. And that means that the artwork and the cart are available. So the cartridge that goes in the game, the control panel, as well as the marquee. As I mentioned, the marquees are all done on tempered glass as opposed to the Translite. The quality of these is great. I can see if I can link a picture within the chat. I was really, really happy with how they're coming out. There are some more kits that we're coming out with that we don't have the carts for. A spiker kit. So the artwork, both the control panel and the marquee, as well as Hat Trick, which will be the control panel and the marquee. And then we are working on Name That Tune and
Mark,
Mini Golf and Give Me a Break.
Mark and Brian, Name That Tune. Didn't Doug McRae work on that? What didn't he talk about that?
Yes. Yep. That was his the arcade game that he worked on, right?
At Valley Sente. He also worked on Quantum, along with Betty, who we're trying to get on the show. Betty
Hey, hey, what's
Yeah,
going on? You know her name.
I know her name. I'm super smart. I remember everything.
Is it Centipede Girl or is it somebody else?
No.
No.
That's a different woman. But yeah, we should get her on too.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to see if I can link this in, but
I like
if you guys have a
ladies.
chance, you can check them out. Boom. I don't know if that'll work. Yeah. So I threw that up in the chat. That's a link to the Snacks and Jackson control panel and overlay.
So Brian, you powder coated those, then did your UV print on top. Is that what you did?
Yeah, and actually, so what we did was we actually went a step further. So the original control panels were silk screened, obviously. And the way they did them was they would put a layer of white down and then they would silk screen on top. So if you look at the original control panels, you can actually see where the ink levels finished. And they'd have like this kind of stepped edge. And we recreated that. So if you look at our panels, the black ink actually prints beyond the white ink background. So it looks like the original silk screening. Nice. It's pretty cool. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get it to look exactly like the originals from the control panels.
That's awesome. I think the community appreciates that level of attention on stuff like that. I know
Yes.
I do.
Building up an inventory is also nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the nice thing about these is we will be able to supply these right now. And Brian Jones is just jealous because he wants a Snacks and Jackson and he's not going to have one. So right now we are selling them as complete kits, as I mentioned. We may parse them out in the future, and if somebody's really desperate and listening to this broadcast, contact me and I can probably break one up. But we've spent a lot of money kind of developing the whole project, and so it's hard to piece them out as there are some people doing different components of this, and we're trying to push it forward as a single unit. But cool. The one piece we haven't done yet that I have the signature and everything ready to go, and I'm hoping that we'll have them next week, is we do have Nolan Bushnell's permission and a card with his signature on it, and we will be making Sente diagnostic kit carts, only about 25 of them with Nolan's signature on them.
Sold!
Yep.
So, and the suggestion was, and I have an extra control panel set. Somebody made the suggestion of making a Sente diagnostic kit, so like making a marquee for it, which would actually be kind of funny.
Sold!
We may be doing that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Kind of fun, a little different.
Very nice.
Very nice.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We're scared.
And that's it for gadgets.
Oh, no more gadgets.
I mean, I can talk about
Dun,
more
dun,
gadgets.
dun, dun.
Got lots of toys.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Arcade News, arcades, pinball, industry alumni, arcade openings, selecting, celebrities, world record holders, operators, coin-out, conventions. The Arcade News.
We interrupt the ventilated development.
And now, the Arcade News with
Adam Stevens.
That dude's loud.
God.
Well, I have a couple of sad news articles today. This is from the San Bernardino Sun. I had to change the mood. After 43 years, it's game over for Upland Arcade in San Bernardino.
Damn it, I just didn't ever go there before in my entire life.
Like the warbly womp womp sound that signifies it's game over in Pac-Man, the end has come for James Games Arcade after 43 years. It's with a heavy heart that we're saying goodbye and closing James Games on March 31st, 2021. So this Upland Arcade, Upland, California, I guess,
Yes.
ran for 43 years, and now it's a shuttered.
It's a shame. Upland, it's near Downland in Silicon Valley.
Which is near Westland and Eastland.
Upland and Downland, and then, interrupted X modem, but anyway, whatever.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's not really interesting. It's not interesting at all, actually.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. This is a
Damn
terrible
it,
thing.
COVID.
Yeah, it is largely due to a reduced,
reduced traffic of people.
What are they doing with their inventory?
Yeah, what are they going to do with those games?
Yeah, I didn't mention that they recently converted to redemption games. I'm just kidding. I'm
But
just
they have
kidding.
a large stash of candy cabinets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not that I've looked.
Like real candy? Oh.
Yeah. Also, today, a friend of the show, Alan McClelland, who just started listening recently, and may not be listening tonight because when I announced that we were going to have to broadcast from Twitch, he actually thought it was a joke. So I hope he's in the audience tonight. If he is, say hello in the chat. Anyway, he wanted me to let everyone know that there's about 6 new barcades opening up in the Columbus, Ohio area. So one thing I think is great about this show is how articulate I am. And how well I'm able to read things and, editorialize without stuttering or any sort of problem. I
except
pride
for
myself.
when you read the beginning of the show. Terry, you're
Well, I'm actually just marveling in the fact that I can't even read a news article these days without stuttering. It's just awful. Anyway, so there's a couple of new places. If you go to drinkupcolumbus.com, you can see what's happening. Although I did read that on the 27th, the 16-bit bar and arcade in the Lakewood location of Cleveland did shut down. So we're still losing businesses left and right. It's cool that there's some new ones opening, and hopefully they'll survive a COVID opening. But those are the struggles of a new arcade starting up. No offense to either you, Brian, or Rent My Arcade, who recently took over your arcade.
Yeah, your new partner.
Yeah, our new forcible partner. I told him I just thought the truck was there because it broke down trying to haul a cockpit.
I like
road blasters.
I like that Paul Sarnen's comment was, "You're illegally parked."
Yeah, that was. I really got to give Peter credit for taking the time to actually set up the shot and then Photoshop. I mean, this was not like oh, hey, guess what I should do today? I mean, he had to go out, stop. I mean, this is.
By the way,
was excellent.
Brian, you should explain this April Fool's joke on the air here behind you.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we opened up an arcade called Starcade, which is above my head. And one of the guys locally in Minnesota, a guy named Peter, runs Rent My Arcade. Great business if you need machines. Wonderful guy to go to. Rents them out monthly, does parties, does a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're in the Minnesota area, excellent guy to talk to about getting machines. He pulled his truck in front of Starcade and took this picture and then edited. You can see the detail he went to. The tree is actually, he put his sign behind the tree branches and then added his little arcade game on wheels things to the awnings and made a posting on Facebook saying how, it's great that we decided to open an arcade, but a real American entrepreneur has now taken over and made this very boastful post about how he's taken over Starcade, which quite honestly was
I was delighted about, actually.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Bravo, Mr. Rent My Arcade. I can't say his last name, so.
Yeah.
It's good guy, isn't it? Yeah. No, and sure. Peter, and honestly, if you can support Peter's business. Now, Peter bought a building in St. Paul, and he's going to be not doing an arcade there, but he's going to be hosting parties. Nice. And doing some more rentals and repairs and some other things. So, and a great guy to support. He's always been a really neat guy in the community. So
I got my Pac-Man Plus cocktail conversion kit from him that was mint in the box for free.
Nice.
I first met him, years ago, because he was he was big into Play Choice 10. He had that Play Choice 10 site for a while. I don't know if he still has it.
Huh.
Does he?
I don't know.
It was like Ryman.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The answer is I don't know.
I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Oh, hey, should we move on to Back to the Cade?
Yeah, Back to the Cade.
All right, let's do that.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Back to the Cade with Time Runner.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Hey, everybody, welcome to Back to the Cade.
And furthermore, and such. And
Wait a minute. Something about pork products?
pork products.
Hey, did you know that when Mario made his debut in his game, his profession was a carpenter?
I did not know that.
Yes, the game Donkey Kong takes place in a construction site, obviously.
Obviously.
But it wasn't until Mario Brothers that he made the career change to plumber. As much of this game took place underground. Interesting.
Yes, and with weird icicles.
Did you know that?
Wait a minute. Which game did he switch to a plumber?
Mario Brothers, but in Donkey Kong, he's a construction worker.
It's true. All true.
He was a policeman and an Indian and wait, no.
He was a policeman.
Yeah,
and
those would be good additional players for you to like. If you had a 4-player Donkey Kong, and you could put the police, not the police, but what are the village people. Yeah.
the Villian people.
Donkey Kong Village people. Okay, I'm gonna have that one ordered up. Next, did you know that due to the popularity of Mario Brothers, in 1983 there was a huge increase in the number of people naming their children Mario? Wow. Yes, it is statistically significant.
That's awesome.
Or Mario, if you're, Todd Tucky, Mario.
Mario. Hey, do you know any Marios?
I don't know any Marios.
I think one, I think.
You do?
That's it. He was an exchange student, so I don't know if that counts.
What about?
Well, I mean, they had Mario Brothers in other countries, I guess.
Do you think Mario Andretti went by Mario or Mario?
Mario
Andretti, for sure.
Mario Andretti.
Mario. It's me, Mario Andretti.
Yeah. Well, wasn't there a TV show in the 80s that the wrestler was in, and he played Mario?
Remember? Talking about the real life Mario?
Real life Mario.
Luigi. That was weird.
Oh, that was an awesome show. It was so bizarre.
I mean, and the guy was a wrestler, and he constantly had other wrestlers on. And
yes.
He even had Cyndi Lauper on one episode.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Good. We should do a whole segment about that.
I love segments.
Hey, that's the end of my first half of the segment, which the second half of the segment is where I ask Adam,
what's in the juke?
This is the part of the show that we like to get banned in.
Yes, not for this, what we're about to do. Welcome to the Season 5 edition of What's in the Juke?
What's in the Juke?
It's the game within a podcast.
Yes.
Today we'll be playing 80s movie audio clips again.
Oh, yes. I like this game.
If you can guess the movie title, you will receive...
half point.
That's right. If you recognize the actor, you will receive...
half point.
If you can guess both the movie and the actor, you
full
get...
point.
If you don't know either of these, please find it out. If you can guess what movies these are from, you will also... Wait a minute, I already read that. Damn it! The fighting is over. Let us now begin.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
One of these is going to be really good. Adam, by the way, has not heard any of these samples, which is awesome for me.
Nice.
All right, here comes your first clip.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
I'm going to do that again.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
That's so loud. I love it. All right, chatters, tell us what's going on. What do you see?
Looks like Mike Page as Animal House.
But I gotta say, Brian's right about the lag. This is way faster.
Wow.
So that is Animal House. Do anyone know who this is?
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
I was really surprised by whom it is, but
It's not Anthony Michael Hall, is it?
No, not in Animal House.
No.
I think he was just a glint in his mom's eye at that point.
Oh, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Mike Page is correct with Kevin Bacon.
Sweet, Kevin Bacon. All right.
Correct.
All right, that's a half point for both of you guys. Oh no, he got a full point.
Mike, you are now 2 guys, according to
For
Adam.
both of the Mike Pages, you get a half point. All right, here we go. Here comes your next track.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
Oh God, I love this movie. This movie is the best.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
Joe Drosen with Fletch and Grinwing 20 with Chevy Chase.
I forget who is Grinwing 20.
Grinwing 20, tell us who you are again because we've forgotten. These names we're gonna have to just get used to them.
Right.
It's sad. It's sad but true. Half point for both those guys.
I don't recall what Fletch is doing, but they need to make more Fletch movies immediately.
He's inspecting the airplane. He's it's a great scene.
Yes.
He knows nothing about airplanes whatsoever. And they tell him to go check like one of the panels, and they're trying to test him, Anyway, it's funny. Okay, here comes your next track.
Like a pussy make you brave, man.
Oh my God. Here comes your... Gonna repeat that one again.
Like a pussy make you brave, man.
Oh my God, that's a good quote.
It's about cats. No, wait.
And that's why you had to click on the mature link before the show.
Oh God.
Like a pussy make you brave, man.
You don't even have to know who this is.
Grinwing guy.
It is Murphy. It is Eddie Murphy. It is 48 hours, and that is a full point for Grinwing.
Full point.
Grinwing. Who the hell is Grinwing?
I don't know, but he's doing great.
Is that the Gleek? Is that the Gleek? I don't know. So all of you that are in this chat tonight, I would really appreciate if you just took the moment right now to click the subscribe button, because I think Twitch is going to end up being in it for us in some way. It just is. Okay, here comes your next track.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
I think that's just fragile, honey.
Oh, yeah.
It must be Italian. I love that movie so much.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Well, I think that's just fragile, honey.
Oh, it's Brad Holman.
Yeah.
Brad Holman is Grinwing. Okay, awesome. Christmas Story is correct, Joe Drosen. And who said it? Leg Lamp. I'll also give a half point to Necros for Leg Lamp.
Half point.
Half point for those fellas. This is a hard one to get because no one really knows this actor.
No, and I just found this out recently. Did you know Christmas Story is a sequel?
I vaguely remember that now. But
There are several movies that are based on this family. They're not all with the same actors, but the guy who wrote and narrates Christmas Story narrated all the others that came before this. He narrated all of them up until Christmas Story 2. He wrote it, but he passed away, but they made it afterwards. Yeah,
I forget who narrated
crazy.
the second one. It was pretty good. The narration. Okay.
Do we know the name of the actor? I don't know. Mr. Peabody may have a Darren McGavin, Mr. Peabody. I'm just going to take his word for it.
Well, the point, by this time they could Google it. We're just dicking around. So, okay, here comes your next track.
My God, it's full of stars.
These are great quotes. I mean, these are fun.
My God, it's full of stars.
My God.
That did creep me out in the 80s.
It's full of stars. Everybody do your best one.
My God,
it's full of stars. My God,
That's
it's
the,
full of stars.
I think that's about a serial, right? Isn't it like the
Serial killer?
No, the one where the stars and the shiny diamonds and
My God, it's full of
And
stars.
yellow pots of gold. You talking about Lucky Charms?
Lucky Charms.
We
Yeah,
got Hal, and we have 2001. I think it's not the correct movie though, right?
No, wrong movie.
Yep. It's like 10 years too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hal 9000, if you want to be accurate, Whiskey Flipper. He was from Winnipeg.
Prochistal. He's got it.
Proc, Florida. Proc. Hey, welcome to the show.
Brian Jones.
Yeah.
Half point.
Because he's Proc on Clav, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. It's amazing I know that, isn't it, Brian? I know who you are. Yes.
Whiskey Flipper.
All right.
2010.
Let's just make it a little weird.
And Whiskey Flipper is Metropolis, who just redid a I forget which pin it was, but somehow I motivated him, and I feel lazy. So I'm so glad he got his pin done, and then like so many accolades. Now I'm like, oh crap! Now I got to go to a pinball and do something.
All right, here comes your next track.
I don't know why they call this stuff hamburger helper. It does just fine by itself, huh?
I know the actor.
Yeah.
Zarzadeck.
I want to tell you I've never seen this film.
What? No, it's good.
I've never seen it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I actually own the film. I got it for $1 at a garage sale on DVD.
Really, you should see it. It's good. You know what? I have not seen 3 Days of the Condor. No, wait. I have seen that. Condor Man.
Condor Man. That's a Disney film. It's awesome.
I've never seen it. I watched about 5-10 minutes of it, and I'm like, nah.
It's so terrible. I mean, the strings on the wing, it's so good. How could you not love it? It's just so awful.
No.
It stars Michael Crawford.
No idea. The guy from Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
He's the lead.
No.
Absolutely.
I was just kidding. I didn't know. How did I pull that out?
Yeah. It's a fantastic film. It's fantastically horrible. Mark, you need to watch it. It's in the vein of Phantom of the Paradise.
So Mike Page got Vacation.
Good. The actor is Randy Quaid.
Right. So I guess Mr. Peabody's going to get that one.
Whiskey Flipper got Quaid.
Did he get before?
Well, they all put Dennis Quaid down all the way down. Into
oh, you're right. Dennis Quaid. Quaid. Who actually said Randy Quaid? Mike Page. So Mike Page, you're getting full credit.
Sweet.
I don't know why they call this stuff hamburger helper. It does just fine by itself, huh?
Okay, here's your next track.
Oh, boy, is this great!
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I'm going to turn that down just a tad.
Oh, boy, is this great! Oh, boy, is this great!
You know, that could be anything, really. That could be like...
the guy...
Boy, is this great!
I could tell you the character's name was Flounder.
Somebody got that.
What?
Grinwing got Flounder. Just seconds before you said it.
He sure did.
Fact. Animal House for a full point.
Full point.
All right.
No.
Okay, here comes your next track.
Come with me if you want to live.
Oh my God, I love this. It's my favorite of all the films.
That's not Arnold. If I'm mistaken.
It is not Arnold. Yeah. But we just gave away. Okay, Blue Goose. Terminator is correct. And who's the character or the actor? Either one. John Connor is not correct.
Yeah, right.
Right. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
He's John Connor's daddy.
Correct.
Michael Bain, I think, is correct.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Whiskey Flip.
Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live. He's in like in every James Cameron movie, like his bit part. He was just in Mandalorian. Did you guys see that episode?
No, which one? What?
So the woman with the things out of her head.
Yeah.
She was in Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she was in Clerks 2 or something.
Yeah, it's like she's a famous character in Clones. I've never watched Clones. Anyway, that episode has Michael Biehn as one of the badasses in the town.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, here comes your next track.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Oh my God, I love this. I know the actor. I know the movie.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Such a good film. Such a good film. It is Breakfast Club, Joe Drossen.
Yep.
And Judd Nelson is correct. Whiskey Flipper. So we had a half point.
Half point
for both those fellas. How are we doing, Mark, with the scores?
So Mike Page and Joe Drossen tied with first place, 2.5 points each.
Ooh.
Metropolis in second with 1.5 points, and aka Whiskey. And looks like I have been keeping track of Joe Drossen with 2 different lines. So in fact, Joe Drossen's in first place.
Oh, and a strange twist of fate. Joe Drossen is leading.
Wow, Joe Drossen is in first and third place. Not possible.
Oh my God. It is if you're in the movie Herbie the Love Bug.
Okay, let me take that back. Okay. So Joe Drossen first place, Mike Page second place, and Metropolis in third.
All right, here comes your next track.
And I want the rest of you cowboys to know something. There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Reggie Hammond. Y'all be cool. Right on.
Right on.
Right on.
And I want the rest of you cowboys to know something. There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Reggie Hammond. Y'all be cool. Right on.
Not related at all. Have you seen Coming to America 2?
No, not yet.
I watched it. It's actually kind of charming.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's PG-13, so they got rid of some boobies. Because the first movie's rated R, and there's lots of boobies.
Nice. Right.
And it's way less PC than the second one. But they do a decent job, and it's fun to see those characters playing some of the same roles they did back in the day. So
it was a pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're going to giving this to Mr. Peabody for Eddie, and Grinwing got 48 hours.
Nice.
Again, we told you because people think it's Beverly Hills Cop, but it's 48 hours, which it's funny. It's like another where he gets to be a cop, but he's sort of like a rogue cop.
Yeah. Yep. All right, here comes your next track.
The next time I have to come in here, I'm cracking skulls.
We all have to do that on camera.
The next time I have to come in here, I'm cracking skulls.
This actor, rest in peace, was pretty great.
Aw.
Yeah. He was also in a little film called Die Hard.
Was he?
Yes. He was the police chief.
Oh, check that out. I haven't seen Die Hard in so long.
Oh, man, I watch it every Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. It's my favorite Christmas movie, actually.
So Necros got Breakfast Club.
Nice. Paul Gleason is correct. I am impressed.
Half point.
That's some quick Googling for both of you guys.
Oh, Paul Gleason's the actor's name.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I thought Necros was named Paul Gleason. Okay, fixing that. Mr. Peabody, good job.
Principal something is correct. Well, I don't know if he was the principal. Was he the principal? Why would the principal be there for detention? It seems like he was just like an asshole teacher, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The next time I have to come in here, I'm cracking skulls.
All right, here comes your next clip.
I'm waiting!
Oh my God. This is like top 3 movies of all time.
I'm waiting!
I don't know how it can't be anyone else's top 3, but I absolutely love this film.
Stop that rhyming.
I mean it. Anybody want a peanut? Oh my God. This is the best movie ever. You know, it's up there with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Grinwing got it.
Nice.
Princess Bride.
Inconceivable.
And Mr. Peabody got Wallace
Half
Shawn.
point.
Yep, Wallace Shawn is correct. He also played a Ferengi on Deep Space Nine.
And he's like a frequent character on Young Sheldon now.
Oh, he's such a good actor. Fun, fine character actor. Okay, here comes your last clip.
That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
I like that you can hear the guy on the phone, you know.
That was my skull. I'm so wasted.
You guys want to hear something funny?
Yes.
I saw this movie for the very first time a month ago.
Oh my God. So what did you think of the pool sequence?
I like the whole movie.
Yes.
It's a little creepy, especially now, today, if you watch it.
Right, yeah. Well,
and that actor, the actor who plays the senior, he's like 27 years old. In this film. I mean, like literally.
There's a lot of that where they're like, oh, yeah. Well, you're in high school, obviously.
Yeah. And, and literally the next week, he's like on MacGyver playing an adult.
Right.
I mean,
well, you know, Olivia Newton-John was 30 when she filmed Grease. So think
really?
About that.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's so hot in Grease.
Oh my God, I'd take her right now.
Oh my God, so
come on, sorry, Samantha, but
you're the one I want. Okay. I actually snuck out of my bedroom while the babysitter was watching Grease on the television so I could see that last number with her, and I was never so turned on as a boy.
Oh no!
Wow.
Maybe that was a little too much. Maybe that was just a little too much. I don't know.
Overshare.
I'm oversharing.
Overshare. There's no voicemail or anything. There's no second voicemail, not the first voicemail.
Do we have to check the voicemails?
Yeah.
The last time I checked the voicemails, there was nothing there.
I don't know.
All right, let's. I suppose Bob made a call. It is April Fool's Day. I mean, I feel like I should play both calls if he called us twice.
No, you should not. Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
What?
What?
Oh, by the way, Joe Drozen won. Good job,
oh yeah. We didn't tally it up.
Right. So Joe Drozen in first place, 4.5 points. Mike Page clearly in the second place, strong finish, and then Mr. Peabody in third with 2 points. Metropolis, honorable mention, 1.5 points, and then tied to fifth, Brian Jones, Blue Good, and Necros.
Blue Good.
I may have bad fingered that one. So.
Brian Jones, Blue Good. I don't know if you want to say that on the air. Okay, here we go.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is RcadeRadio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, everybody. It's your buddy, Bob Zarzadeck, control panel expert and technician. Hey, I've got a little addiction story to share with you that I've recently found out about. It's this amazing drink, and it's called a mudslide. It's delicious, and I think I've become addicted to it, to the point where I have to be exercising, all the time now. And I pick running for my exercise. And hey, you know how hard it is to run with a mudslide in your hand? It's hard. I mean, like real hard. I spilled many a mudslide, and tears have been shed. I don't think that.
This is the call you're not supposed to play. You bastard. Bob is going to be very upset.
You guys, maybe we should listen to that again.
Thank you for calling 612-548.
We're going to hear from Bob's lawyers.
This is RcadeRadio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, everybody. It's your buddy, Bob Zarzadeck, control.
Wait, didn't he just call?
Technician. Hey, guys, I have a little addiction story to share with you that I recently found out about this. It's an amazing drink. It's called a mudslide. And it's delicious. I have become addicted to it. In fact, to the point where I I need to be exercising all the time. You know, and my exercise I picked was running. And do you know how hard it is to run with a mudslide in your hand? It's hard. I mean, real hard. Like, that's what she said. Hard. You know what I'm saying? And I have spilled many a mudslide, and tears have been shed. And don't think that old phrase, don't cry over spilled milk did not come up. Because when that milk is, sliding and there's money involved, I'm all, like, destroyed and stuff. I can't even help it, all right? Hey, I have not reached that realm yet of oversharing, have I? Yeah, you know what? I should cut this phone call short now. Yeah, you guys have a good show, and watch out with those mudslides everywhere. And you know what? I don't mean the California mudslide. In case you thought of that, maybe that was real confusing. But no, this is the kind that you drink. Okay, hey. If you thought that, you're probably dumb. All right. Hey, Zarzadeck out.
Oh my gosh. I was reading the Google transcript for that call, and it was spot on. There wasn't a single mistake.
No way.
I know.
I thought he was going to say it's hard running with a mudslide in your pants.
And, we got to be careful because Bob's lawyers are pretty good with all the trouble he got into last year.
Oh, I know.
They got him out of that somehow.
It was a tough 2020 for Bob. I think he was in jail 3 separate times. Wow.
Yeah, there were multiple jail trips. Yeah, it was pretty
I like when he was stuck out on the SpaceX platform, floating at sea. But now that'd be a problem. Those rockets keep exploding. And let's welcome Aaron back to the show. We had a lot of Aarons on this show. A couple of episodes ago, we had a different Aaron. I think we should just have Aarons on the show from now on.
Sure. Or Aaron, like ERIN as well.
Oh, yeah.
Get some ladies in here, yeah.
Get some ladies up in here.
We like the ladies, if you know what I mean.
What?
Very nice.
What do you mean?
Very nice. This is my sister. You are welcome to her.
Yes. Most popular prostitute all of Kazakhstan.
Out of Kazakhstan. She was nominated for an Academy Award.
What?
So check on the
His
new
daughter
one,
on the new one?
Oh, wow.
Is she really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, the thing she had to do with Rudy Giuliani. She deserves.
I don't know if that was acting.
2 Academy Awards,
well,
really.
One person was acting.
Yes.
Rudy! Every time I watch that first movie, or the second movie, I could... It was that...
They had a similar movie come out, and I can't remember the name of the guy that does it. Andre something.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the African American
gentleman? Yes, sir.
Okay.
He is amazing, and the whole Netflix movie filmed over the course of 6 years, but very consistent and just like perfect, like another Borat, but
yeah.
I'll look it up. Eric Andre, I think is his name. Yeah, dude's like freaking genius.
They do like Bruno or some other. He did some other movie too. I don't know.
Right.
The Dictator again.
That's true.
Bruno.
Ron. Well, hey, Aaron, welcome to the show. You have this little thing called Arcadeology. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So, I've kind of been doing the hobby for it's almost 20 years now. It started back in high school. I put all of the MAME emulators and games on the school network, hid it in one of the science teachers, test folders on the network.
Nice.
And there was no security back then, so we would play in art class, and people in the hall I didn't know would be like, "Hey, where'd you stash those arcade games?" I'd be like, "I don't know you. Leave me alone."
Yeah.
And
screw you.
So that kind of introduced me to all the arcade games and stuff, and then. Some point in high school for one of my birthdays, I asked my dad if we could build a MAME machine, and about $2,000 later, he was he was kind of pissed. But we built one from one of those like ultimate arcade cabinet plans that they had back in the early 2000s, and that further got me kind of into it, and it just kind of blossomed from there. I started with MAME, kind of moved into building some custom one-off machines that were kind of based around that, and then just started buying original cabinets and started teaching myself how to restore stuff. My dad's really good on the woodworking and all that kind of stuff. I tried to teach myself more of the electronic stuff and kind of shadow him on the woodworking and all that kind of stuff. So
but by day you're kind of an engineer, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a design engineer for a company. We make explosive and drug detectors for the military and law enforcement. So I've taught myself the 3D CAD, and one of my first things that I did in 3D CAD was I did a custom arcade cabinet for the CEO of the company that I'm with now.
That's
actually.
funny.
So
that's funny.
Yeah, so there's nothing like trial by fire in terms of like, hey, I have to do something and learn how to do it at the same time. So, but I thrive on this, so that's cool.
But that's cool. So at least you had like a project that was you could be passionate about, right?
Yeah. So in terms of the company, I'm doing so much of it. I think last count, I haven't counted in probably 2 or 3 years, but the last count I did, I was probably up to 300 or so cabinets. And so it's mostly a hobby, but I do custom builds for stuff. Like I did some of the Sky Cursor dedicated cabinets whenever those guys were making some stuff, and I do custom builds and custom I'll do commissioned restorations for
I need a
people and stuff
Nintendo
like that.
cabinet.
A Nintendo cabinet.
Wow.
I also just heard, I don't know if this is public information, but Joe Sabo is getting some CNC capability, so there's some stuff that's going to be coming out too on,
so you have
on
a
that
competition.
end of things. Yeah, competition. Not for me, but the custom builds that I typically do, I'll have somebody else cut the cabinets and stuff, but I don't know. It's a lot of fun and
cool.
A lot of cool stuff left yet to do.
It's funny you mentioned Joe does such an amazing job with artwork, but all those guys get overloaded. It'd be interesting to see if he can keep up with if he's going to add CNC, keep up with artwork and cabinets, because that's not one artwork guy seems to keep up all the time.
Oh yeah, let me tell you about that.
We won't go down too far down that path.
I think Brian, I first ran into you. I think it might have been 2007, 2008. I think I remember protoing the Lonos board that you had for the controls, and then you had all the little RGB LED buttons and stuff like that, and so that was cool. Talking through some of those applications with you and stuff.
The funny thing is, those boards actually were super popular, and the guy that did them for us refused to keep doing them. So they just like disappeared. He's like, no, these aren't doing well. We're like, are you kidding me? Like 4 years after we stopped selling them, people are still asking us, can you make those? And we're like, yeah, we can't anymore, because the guy he basically decided it wasn't worth doing and just stopped.
So I think one of the first cabinets that I built. So the CEO of the company I'm with now found me on Craigslist for a cabinet that I had already built, but he wanted one, to his liking and his design. So I worked with him and kind of went so far as to make like a hand cut one out of masonite board and took it to his lake house, to see if it fit in his space, that kind of stuff. And so I had been through the game like 2 or 3 times. The first time I did it, it had, the iPack or whatever from those Ultimark or whatever.
Yep.
And it had all those, ghost key combo presses that Windows has that kind of mucks everything up. And then whenever you came out with the Lonos was when I was like, we need to redo it, and he was reporting issues to me. So it was like a full on engineering project of figuring all that out. But it was fun.
Well, the last Aaron that was on the show is releasing a new board soon that'll do LEDs and we're releasing the board, but he's did one for us, so it's pretty cool. That should be coming out soon. We're looking forward to it.
Nice.
What was Go ahead, Mark.
I just wanted to say that Aaron did 2 arcade games for the Texas Renaissance Festival. Like, what exactly? Like, tell me the whole situation there.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do like a promotional giveaway one year, and they provided some art assets, and we basically took like an existing Pac-Man cabinet that we had, and traced it out, and did the kind of flush cut router, to make new sides and all that, and we made them kind of look like outside rustic wood, to where it looked kind of beat up and stuff, but it looked kind of intentional. And then
it looked Renaissance-y.
Yeah, and then I think it's on our Twitter or Facebook page for Arcadeology, and did custom art for it, and they had like a big group collage of all the Renaissance nerds, and I kind of did that as the kick art and stuff like that. But that one was pretty fun. They were pretty stoked. I think I did a bit kit in it or whatever, something
classic,
a little off the beaten path kind of thing. So.
Nothing like the medieval arcade cabinets.
Oh, right.
So what was your first dedicated cabinet? You mentioned that the main machine was what was your first dedicated?
So my dad, who's ironically in the chat, he Defender is his game. So I started looking on Craigslist, and I found a empty Defender cabinet for $20, and it's kind of funny in retrospect. You get an empty Defender cabinet, and you're like, I'm gonna find all the parts for a Defender. That's the smart thing to do. And started looking around for parts and stuff like that to kind of populate the cabinet. The cabinet was pretty beat. It was gonna need a lot of water repair and stuff like that. But ended up buying a complete other Defender on eBay in Dallas, which is 3 or 4 hours north of us. With the listing had no pictures, so it was super sketch, but it said it was complete. And not knowing a whole lot, like battery damage and stuff like that would have, made it not so good of a deal. But I got up there, and the cabinet was mint, so that then became the cabinet. And then I sent off the boards to a member on Clav called Yellow Dog, and his name is Ken Graham. Used to work for Williams Electronics, guy that lives here in Houston. And did Mystic Marathon and a couple other games with his time with Williams there, but he repaired those, and then that was kind of I was annoying and asked a lot of questions and stuff like that, to kind of get an understanding. But that was the first one.
He is annoying, but no, I'm sorry. Sorry.
But yeah, so yeah, that was the first dedicated, and then from there, my dad was like, "Oh, I remember Tempest," and I was like, "Okay, let's look for Tempest."
Yeah.
And then it was like, I kind of vaguely remember this one, and then it kind of comes to a point where I'm like, "Do you remember Cube's Quest?" He's like, "No, I don't."
No.
Well, it's like all the Sente games. I have no idea what most of them are. I mean, with the except Chicken Shift, I know, but the rest, like Snake Pit, I don't know.
Hat Trick was pretty common.
Hat Trick was pretty common. I guess maybe I vaguely remember that. I never played it. Those games, I don't. They were out at a weird time, and I just don't think I got to play them.
Yeah, the mid '80s, I guess for you guys was probably not a big time for you.
Well, actually, the mid to late '80s would have been prime time for me as a teenager looking for girls at the mall.
Oh, okay. So not prime arcade time.
No. Yeah, but we'd go to the arcade. We'd eventually end up there. So like, Afterburner, Rampage, Altered Beast, APB, Stun Runner, those types of games. A couple of what was the later Hang On? Turbo or
Super Hang On.
Super Hang On.
There was some other ones.
Yeah, so they had the white bikes that you could lean on.
Yep.
So those were cool. So a lot of, but I still gravitated towards the old stuff that I had played when I was like 10, But yeah, I remember playing a bunch of those games. But Sente, I mean, did they have as long of a reach as the other manufacturers? Wait, in other words, were they as prolific with their distribution across the United States?
What are you? What?
and Brian, you might know the answer to this. I don't know. Or Brian Jones in the chat. Or anybody. Maybe we could get somebody from Sente on the show.
Were they asked the question again? You kind of moved on a little bit, and I pulled up the Superman cabinet on the Arcadeology
Oh, I'm a big fan of that game. That was at the movie theater, and it has the John Williams score in it. So I'm a big fan of that game.
Yeah, I was gonna make that back into an arm wrestling because I have some of the stuff, and then it was just in really nice shape. Somebody had painted over the black melamine, but I did some of the magic eraser stuff, and there was no need. It was a beautiful cabinet, so I felt bad turning it back. And I've seen a few conversions exactly like that, so I feel like there was either a kit for it or one of the bigger chains or something converted a bunch of them.
There was a kit for Superman. There were some dedicateds, but that is a cool game. Also, I like Moonwalker for some strange reason. It's a fun game. It's a little creepy once you know a little bit about Michael, I guess, but I'm still
What?
A little creepy?
Yeah.
I mean, he's saving children, damn it.
Annie,
Do you
are
have
you
a
okay?
problem with saving children?
Are you okay, Annie? Yeah, no.
Annie, are you okay?
And I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm a big fan of Thriller and a bunch of his albums, so don't get me wrong. I like his music, but I think that guy was effed up. Anyway, continue on. What other questions we have? Brian, ask this guy a question. You look like you really want to ask him a question.
Well, I asked him what his first dedicated was, but I'm seeing these Moppets on here. I mean, like, those are not common cabinets to come by.
No, this is not a terribly long story, but it's not terribly short either. But I had a friend that's in Louisiana that he's into console games. He's not into the arcade games, but the console game guys, at least from my understanding, some of them are looking through the estate sales and stuff like that. And, sometimes us arcade guys are too, but he found an auction that had a lot of arcade stuff that he noticed that he was not interested in. So he sent it to me.
What?
And there was just like, say 20 to 25 lots of like 20 boards a piece. And it was just like, you're like looking through them, you're going, oh my God, there's so much money here. And it was an online auction. It was out of state. I actually flew out to the location to kind of comb through the stuff because there was enough evidence online that there was going to be some good stuff there. But come to find out, he had a Akari Warriors. He had that one of those Moppets. He had the tugboat one, and he had a Wii U kiosk. And he needed some money, and I was like, "What do you want?" And we made a deal, and he drove him from Louisiana to Texas. And...
I like it when this guy needs money. It's good for it's good. It's been good for me too.
Right. And one of the other ones I got from another collector out of New Orleans, and then which was the Pirate's Treasure or Leprechaun, whichever one, I can't remember. And then the Noah's Ark one, ended up putting a 16-1 in it because it was complete on the outside, but it had no guts in it, so just basically made it a 16-1.
So how many of those do you have?
So I have 3, I think, of the 5 ones that they released.
Right.
So I have Pirate's Treasure. I need Leprechaun, which I think is one of the easier ones to come by.
Is that one of the ones I have?
Yeah,
I know a guy with Leprechaun.
I have 4, so I don't really know. I don't even know what I have. But
I think that there was like not River City Ransom, but there was like River Raid or some stuff, and then there was a Berenstein Bears one, I think.
Oh yeah,
it's a very niche.
Leprechaun and Pot of Gold were basically the same game, weren't they?
Or yeah, not OPI, but I forget. Yeah, GPI.
I know a guy with Pot of Gold too.
Yeah, that cabinet looks pretty cool.
I've got one that was actually a factory conversion of a Chaos.
Oh, Chaos is the black cabinet one?
It's the blue, and I remember getting into a discussion with somebody where they were saying like, no, it's not original. I'm like, the build tag is inside. Like, literally the build tag from the company is inside it. And so I'm looking at this thing going, well, it says in here GPI Pot of Gold, and then I found like another tag in the bottom of the cabinet that said GPI Chaos. I was like, oh.
So,
nice.
Aaron, 300 cabinets. Have you? I've always found it interesting when you come across these like crazy things. And this is a factory conversion. These factory conversions that like Brian was just talking about. But like, for example, what's the game Solar Fox by Ballet Midway? They made a bunch of those cabinets, and it sold terribly. It's a fun game. It has a really cool anime theme on the outside, but the cabinets were kind of dull and gray and not I mean, it wasn't like a really attractive game. And I think they just marketing effed up. So one of the things that is really common is later Bally Midway games used pieces of the Solar Fox cabinet. They would cut them up and use them as bottoms or reverse them and have sides. Have you encountered any of that in your collecting?
Yeah, I think there's one game that I have. I think it's either Mappy or Junior Pac-Man that I have that has a Solar Fox on the bottom. I can't remember which one, but yeah, it's cool to see that stuff. There's like a bottom of discs of Tron on the bottom of like a root beer tapper or something.
Oh my God! Does that break your heart? Discs of Tron on the bottom of a root beer tapper.
Yeah, it's a little and then there's been a couple. There was another Bally Midway game like that, 83, 84 time range that had a Journey piece, inside that holds the PCB and stuff. You're like either that or Cosmic Cruiser, I guess. But so I guess when you say 3,000 or not 3,000 cabinets, thank God, 300. The thing that kind of got me started into that realm of things was my dad. My dad's always been my enabler, so he helped me on this.
That's pretty awesome.
I'll blame him, but there was a Craigslist ad for a group of games from a local op, and there was a bump and jump on the list. And I go, let's go out there and look at. I want to go see if I want to buy this game. And we got out there and we were talking to the op. I think it was actually a stroke of luck that we got to meet the op out there. One of his guys was supposed to meet us out there, but luckily we ended up getting the op. So making deals was a lot easier. He didn't. Subsequent deals, he would have a guy meet us out there, and then he would call him, and it was harder to make a deal and that kind of stuff. But we actually met the op out there that day, and my dad got talking to the guy, and my dad cornered me, and he goes, "Hey, Aaron," he goes, "this guy's talking like he needs to get rid of everything." And I was like, "Well, what do you want me to do, Dad?" And he's like, "I think you should make an offer on everything." And I was like, at the time, I didn't have any storage units, so I was like. I was like, what do you think? I was like, $25 a piece, and I had no idea how many he even had. It was a full warehouse, but I made him the offer. I was like, $25 for every game, and then he had like an office, and then it had like a loft, I guess, above it, with just like a huge ass pile of parts, And I was like, $300 for all the stuff on the top of there, and he was giddy as could be, and he started counting, how many times he was going to make $25. And it ended up being, it was like somewhere between 60 and 80 games. So it was like, went from, like 20 cabinets to like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
So, got a big warehouse space that, Mark is now, we're double neighbors now. Cause it's like me and then Mark and then me and then Mark. So like we kind of joked there for a little bit because it was me and then Mark. And then I got the one on the other side of him, and I told him my units were spit roasting his.
Yes. And then I also had to spit roast. So we're double spit roasting.
So this is good. Necros says beers of Tron. Your Tron, just a Tron on the root beer tapper. Beers of Tron. Actually, that'd be fun to make. Like, you could turn the mugs into discs, and like give the bartender a Tron outfit. It would be fucking hilarious.
That'd be hilarious. I just want to know if you guys have tried to cut holes in the walls between the units and kind of slide games over. Like, I did.
Oh no, we have keys to each other's units, so there's been a couple swaps back and forth, but no holes.
Oh, you have keys to each other's units. That's how you are.
Hey, it's Texas. I hear everything goes in Texas.
Everything's big in Texas. I was made in Texas. Okay. The other question. It's true stories. My dad was stationed down there. Okay, so tell the big story, Aaron. The Holy Grail story. 68 Chevy man.
So I have a smaller Grail story. So there was I had bought a converted Journey cabinet out of Maine. I think the guy's name is David Dimmers, but that was in transit. Mark had found a Craigslist posting for 3 games, which ended up including another converted Journey cabinet. So I bought that. So I had a Journey cabinet on the way. I had a Journey cabinet that he had hooked up, and then there was an eBay listing that ended up being local to us for an NOS Journey bezel, the glass bezel. And I bought it because I didn't think I was going to find one anywhere else. And it took like 3 or 4 weeks to meet the guy. He was super flaky. Ended up meeting him. His mom was in the hospital. So I met him in this hospital parking lot, and he had the bezel. And he's it was weird. He was, but when I got it from him, he goes, I got that when I got my Journey. And I was like, oh, cool. But didn't realize at the time that he had gotten his Journey brand new in 1983. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So fast forward, a couple months, he texted me and he goes, hey, I just put my Journey up for sale. And it was on, eBay. And then I saw the price. It was, about going rate for a Journey at the time.
About $6,000.
Yeah, around there. And then I was like, I'll pay your asking price. I go, take it down. We'll do the deal. And you come to find out he had bought it from the local distributor. His parents bought it for him as a present or whatever. So it's been in the same spot, same house for that entire time.
Wow.
And then, on doing the pickup of that, it was a little sketchy. He's like, oh, it looks like it's going to rain. Like, oh, I need to, my mom's at the hospital. I need a delay. And then, it kept getting a little sketchier and sketchier. And then I just had to be like, I'm coming today. I took off work. Like, I'm coming to make it happen. Whatever. But, it had, 28 plays on it or whatever. So
wow, holy crap. Okay.
Yeah. It is immaculate. You can eat off of it.
Now, okay, Aaron, we had a slight...
Not quite as cool as Brian's, but...
No.
We've talked about Brian's journey. And I have a Journey that's in, perpetual restoration state. But I have a question for you, Aaron. We did get into a little kerfuffle regarding T-molding. Did you ever compare the original T-molding to the blue restoration T-molding to see the difference? I did post pictures, so there is a difference, but...
I had that link that it was you that sent me the piece of it.
Well,
somebody sent me a piece. I thought, and I thought I took pictures, but maybe I didn't.
I took pictures. I want to have the original Journey T-molding replicated, which is silly because my cabinet is not at all the original cabinet anymore because I had it painted with auto paint. It looks freaking awesome. It's really cool. It's like rock and roll. And so anyway, you're gonna love it. So. But I thought maybe you had compared the two and noticed. I just wanted to ask that question.
I did. Somebody sent me a link of it, or I got a roll, or both. Mm-hmm. And it, at least on the one that I have, it was a pretty good match. I was very surprised because then I ended up using it to restore the other two cabinets that I had.
Yeah, because the stuff from T-molding is way darker, and I don't like it. But whatever, it is what it is. And is Journey a grail for you?
I think it was just the opportunity of getting a home use game. The only other home use game that I have that I got within the last couple months was a Miss Pac-Man Cabaret that another local collector that mainly does pinballs and other Americana type stuff. He said that these people contacted him and wanted them for him to turn into a multi. So he's like,
oh my God.
He's like, I'll help you sell this for a good price.
Stop that.
And we'll put that towards getting you a 60-in-1 and something not awesome in home use only. So
well, I'm glad you were able to save that. So Journey was never on your list though. In fact, that game probably predates you by about 10 years.
Yeah. So I think in terms of grails that are left, and the one that my dad keeps alluding to was I was trying to downplay it, but that auction that we had went to out of state, what enticed me to fly out there was some imagery of a game that nobody that I know of at least has a copy of, which is Bouncer. So there was a control panel for it.
Oh, I think I saw some of this online. Okay, continue.
And, so I being a super nerd into this stuff, I was like, I recognize that control panel art. I was like, I wonder if anybody else does. And then me and another collector flew out there for the auction, and they had a preview for 9 to 5 on one day. So we were literally combing and inventorying all of the lots that we wanted to bid on. We ended up walking away, with like a pallet, literally a pallet of PCBs. And basically everything to build a Bouncer including the schematic blueprints, the original ones, except for the ROM board. But when you think about it and you know what ROMs do, you basically have nothing. So, but obviously it was super cool to see that. We got a handful of some, prototype marquees, and we got some control panel overlays for Bouncer and some other stuff that maybe unearthed at some point.
Can you give us a little synopsis of Bouncer? Because I know there's a lot of people listening. They're like, okay, I don't know what the blanket Bouncer is, but
yeah, right. So there's a website, and I think the guy is local, and I need to talk to him still. But it's called turbosub.com. There was a company called Entertainment Sciences that I assume, like, many companies back in the heyday of arcades were like, hey, we can make a lot of money doing this. So they spent a bunch of money on making a very overzealous hardware set. I think that was called like the RIP hardware or something, or RIP or something, which is kind of fortuitous or whatever. Right. And they created 2 games. One they actually came out with that you could play on MAME is called Turbo Sub. Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But you know how some of the rare stuff goes. Like, some people want to build the terrible rare stuff just, I don't know, for bragging rights or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Hellfire, not me, but okay.
Yeah, but I have it in school and you don't, right?
But Hellfire's got a hell of a cabinet.
No, it's very cool. Yeah. But so Turbo Sub, they had Turbo Sub. That one actually came out. And then the Bouncer was on the same hardware, but obviously it had different ROMs and everything. So I don't think I think there's been a lot of investigation on that end of things, and nobody has found the ROM code. So right now it's just kind of cool conversation pieces at this point. But hopefully they'll shake out one day and people will be able to see it. But the game itself, it's just so you're this like Mr. Clean looking bald dude with a white t-shirt, literally look exactly like him, and it's like a scene Mr. at a bar Clean. And you're kicking out unruly patrons. There's like a sleazy girl that's too drunk that you try to kick out. There's the Peeping Tom guy that's going around pulling his overcoat and exposing himself, and there's some other.
You can't make a game like that today,
right? But I think the hardware was pretty advanced for the time, where they had it looked like a Dragon's Lair type game, but it was with sprites and stuff like that. So
it's funny. I say something like that, but then you look at a game like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh right.
Yeah. So that's really cool. So on this, in the same vein, this is a question for everybody right now. Okay. In your collections, Bouncer might be it for you. I'm not sure, Aaron, but I mean, Journey has been I don't know. It's become pretty popular to restore. Maybe because of a certain brown paint job. I'm not sure. Maybe because it's the only Rock Band arcade game from the 80s, and it has a cassette player in it, which is pretty freaking cool. Maybe just because it's people like the band Journey. I don't know, but anyway, Journey has come up a lot, almost as much as Exterminator on this show. So
Journey may be why we're kicked out of YouTube in a way. But.
Yeah, it could be. I really am thinking that it's the Steve Perry song that we played like a minute of, and then I tried to edit out and it didn't work. Anyway, it doesn't freaking matter. So. My question is for the group, for everybody on this call tonight, of the games that you own, what would you consider the most valuable to you? Not the most valuable monetarily, but the most important, the most valuable game to you. Let's circle around and come. And Aaron, you're gonna finish up, but let's start with Mark and then go Brian and then me.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go Turkey Shoot, because that was a bitch to get going to start off with.
Okay.
And it had a lot of problems. Did you hear that?
It's Brian.
Basically, I had to get a working PCB and then troubleshoot the gun, of which there is only one.
But that game is the most valuable to you. It has the most sentimental value. What kind of value does that have to you?
No, well, that game, I think, in a term of value, I've invested a lot of time with it, and then seeing it running and being able to play it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of joy. I think.
Yeah, and Turkey Shoot's a fabulous game. Like I didn't know how fun that was until we.
And it's really hard, and there's really a level that I can rarely get past when you're just shooting the turkeys and they're flying towards you.
Yeah.
And I've gotten past it a few times, but I don't play it like every day because I don't want to get bored of it.
Sure. Okay. Let's do 2. So you have the most. So that's good. The most valued. And then what would you say is like a guilty pleasure game that you own?
Oh man.
What about that one that's in there?
Which one? The Tron? The discs? The Frisky? I haven't been able to play it.
The Frisky Tom.
Guilty pleasure.
Frisky Tom, I'm still working on. It's outputting some weird video. I need to go check that.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure, because really, Disc of Tron is not that great of a game.
Yeah.
But again, I took the whole thing apart and redid somebody.
I love Distratron. That game makes me happy when I get inside it.
Yeah, I know. It reminds me of being at the mall because I went to the mall and like, man, this movie was out like a year ago, and they made this?
Yeah, no, this is pretty sweet.
Exactly. So I have really good memories of going to the mall, and also there was this really cute girl that was at the mall, and so. But yeah, and again, in this case, it was really messed up. The whole cabinet could wobble.
Sure.
And I, took it all apart, put it all back together, but did it the right way versus what somebody had tried to do with nail guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be a trial behind the sentimentality. Super Pac-Man's my favorite.
Yeah.
But that game almost worked right out of the bat. The biggest issue I had was taking the super high score table off and people yelling at me like, you're a history destroyer.
Yeah.
So I put it back together and then I stuck it on the bezel and people were like, okay, that's all right.
Still my favorite video that you've ever done. That's pretty fun. It's awesome.
That's how all of my TikTok videos, they're based on that fast cut type style.
That's really sweet. So Brian, tell us what would you consider like the most valuable game to yourself, like to only you, and then so just let's start with that.
So, and I will apologize, I'm on call, so I keep getting these text messages about somebody who broke their leg and showed up at the hospital. So I don't have to go, but it's like, anyways. So I'd have to say my Cockpit Spy Hunter. I decided it was a game I loved playing growing up, and it was always like 50 cents to play it. Could never afford to get it good at it. And right after I started collecting games, I decided I wanted one. Was early on in being able to do these national searches of Craigslist, and I found one in Georgia.
Okay.
So I called the guy. I'm like, "What do you want?" He's like, "I want a Rastan board." Like, that's all he wanted.
That's funny.
So I said, "I don't have a Rastan board. I have a gauntlet. I'll trade you a gauntlet for it." He's like, "No, I really want a Rastan board." And literally that night, Gary put a Rastan for sale on Craigslist for $100. And for those of you who don't know Gary is this guy in Minnesota who has like games in sheds that are falling down in the woods, and like you show up at Gary's and you ask him how much is that game, I'll tell you $200. You plug it in, or you try to plug it in and it works. He's like, now it's $600. Literally like right there in front of you. Yeah, he's like, no, it's $200 if I don't know if it works. He'll do things like if you never ask him the price of the game you're looking at, like you always ask him the price of the other things in the room, and they'll be ridiculous. He tried to sell me a Stratovox cabinet for like $800. There was no board, no back door, no monitor. The bezel was all I needed was the coin door, and he wanted $800 for this. So, anyways, he has this thing up for $100. I call him. I'm like, Gary, I'll take it. Go there, pick it up, drive down to Georgia with this trailer that I built custom for the Spy Hunter. and show up at 2:00 in the morning, and out of the house comes like 10 guys, and they all start paying the guy that was selling the Spy Hunter because they'd all bet him that I would never show up. And we load this thing up. I bring it home. I play it for a while. I go to Hawaii. My dad has it in his basement because it's like my valuable game. It's a game I don't want to lose. I didn't like let anybody borrow it. I put it there to be safe. My dad has one of those endless pools in his basement. Leaves the hose in it. Overflows the pool. It floods the entire basement.
Bye-bye, Spy Hunter.
Then the guys who come to clean up the basement decide that it's a good idea to put this out of the water, which isn't a bad idea. So they put a 4x4 under the front and a 4x4 under the back. And so the waterlogged Spy Hunter now becomes a waterlogged V-shaped Spy Hunter. So,
I think we've heard this story
anyways,
before.
I got an insurance settlement for it, bought another one, and that's now the one in my basement that is not by the pool, not getting wet, and I love it. I mean,
and if you want to hear that episode, you can go to YouTube, and hopefully it's not like totally canceled. So, guilty pleasure. What's your guilty pleasure game, Brian?
Define guilty pleasure. I mean, Exterminator, I'm getting a lot of mileage.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. That was exactly what I was looking for.
The game that I like playing that's kind of the a lot of the classic guys don't like, but I have a candy cabinet with Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection in it. And it's one of the only fighting games that I thought I was good at until I went to Japan and sat down in an arcade and played the Japanese guys and like could have just sat down, put a quarter in and not even touched the control panel. It's like whatever the hell they did, my guy was like upside down and flipped in the air, and I'm just like, all right, I'm done. But Tekken 5 DR, I would say, is my game that I just like, and I don't care if people like it or don't like it.
Yeah, that's cool. Play it. That's cool. Myself, Super Pac-Man Cocktail, probably the most nostalgic for me. Like I really, there's a soft spot in my heart for that. That in the captain's chair, Star Trek.
That you don't have put together.
No, I do. It's just in storage. It's Alan's. I just don't have the new panels on it. It's all together. It's Alan's old one. Alan Wood, who, rest in peace. He's not dead. He lives in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
He's dead to me.
Reed. Rest in peace, Dan.
He's dead to me.
He's no longer with us. He's somewhere else.
Right.
Exactly.
You go to die.
He's a great guy. Yeah. He decided he wanted to have a life with a woman and travel and like vacation. He got rid of all of his games. He has like 2 games now.
I'm selfish.
Yes. And then like guilty pleasure, I gotta say, I have a lot of really great games. But I really like that stupid Super Strike bowling game.
I love that you love that.
I mean, it wasn't very much money. I think I paid $300 for it. I had to do some work on it, but it is so fun, and people go to that game when they come over. It's just, I want to play. You get a physical ball.
Yes.
It's really fun.
Do you have the blue and black cabinet, or do you have the one that looks more like a golden tee?
It's a wood grain that looks like golden tea.
It's identical to the ones we have. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Super Strikes.
Oh, the physical ball thing?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
It's
I was thinking Silver Strike. You said Super Strike.
Right.
Okay, cool.
The optical was burned. The optical chip was messed up on it. I replaced it, and I replaced there's like this curtain to hold, to protect the ball from hitting the back. I replaced that too. And I found like 2 air hockey pucks and like a dry erase marker and like a mood ring.
What?
Yeah, I found all this stuff in the bottom of the game and a dead carcass of a mouse that had. But he hadn't lived in there. He had died in there.
Yeah,
so,
it was more like, oh shit, I fell into this hole. What do I do?
Exactly.
Now?
He's like, fuck, what did I do? And then he's sitting at the bottom. He's like, I need water. And like, I could just imagine like for days, this mouse like, I suppose I might find some water over in this corner. Well, Well, maybe I'll find some over in this corner. And then he was just mummified in the corner. When I found him, I picked him up by the tail, and the whole thing just moved up, like, you know. So it's like, and I was like, wow. I was like, and you could see like his ribs and just everything.
God!
It was great. But no, I love that game. There was no smell because he just died of like total dehydration. But yeah, I mean, that's mine. And Aaron, what's your guilty pleasure? What's your favorite game that's like nostalgic to you, that's important to you, that's not Journey?
So the ones that I'm most nostalgic with, because I'm in my mid-30s. I grew up in the early '90s arcades, you know. So the Konami beat 'em ups were, you know, kind of all the rage back then. So I remember playing, you know, Ninja Turtles, and as I was, I don't know, 5-6 years old. And to me, it was really cool playing one video game with, you know, up to 3 other people at the time, or in the case of like this 6-player X-Men, you know, playing with 5 other people at a time. The cabinet's huge, you know. It was a cool concept, you know, because you know, I got my NES when I was 2 or 3, you know, so I was just playing by myself.
Pause. Okay. All right. You're a kid. You get your NES. You know that the Konami TMNT is your favorite fucking game at the arcade. You're like, this is the best fucking game. I love this. Only you didn't say fucking because you were like 10. So you're like, I'm like, this is the best. You're like, this is the best game. You're like, this is a great game. I'm like, I love this game. And then you get the NES version of TMNT. What do you do?
So I think I probably had the TMNT2, the arcade game or whatever.
Yeah, no. But the first one that came out though was like not the arcade game.
Oh right, I remember renting that one from the video store, and it was super hard. I would always die, I think, in, you know, the underwater with the seaweed stage or whatever.
That game is ridiculously
so, you know, as a young
hard.
kid, I was like, you know, I don't want to rent this game again. I was like, it's no fun, you know, I can't beat it.
And then they came out with TMNT Arcade.
Yeah, so that was, you know, that was my favorite at that point. I still have all that stuff. I guess at 5 or 6, I was wondering what was underneath the label on the cartridge. So that one has the label peeled off. But
so did you get yourself? Do you have a TMNT, like a legit 3-player, 4-player?
So yeah, so the story was cool on that. I bought those original 6080 games for that one op, and then he was like, hey, I know another guy. Ended up buying like 3 containers full of games from him. There wasn't a lot of really good stuff in there at all, really, but
there's a TMNT.
Yeah, and at the end of that, he was like, oh, hey, he's like, my niece, I think, has a game, and he's like, Turtles something or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. And then come to find out, she had bought it at auction in like the early 90s, so this was not a heavily routed game. It was very mint.
Very cool.
And I was like, well, what do you want for it? And she was like, I don't know, about $300. And then I was like, I was at work at the time, so I was like, Dad, I was like, please, I was like, hook it up, go get this game. He's like, it's in the middle of, bumfuck nowhere. And then we get it home. I got it, and got it in the shop, and it was like 4 volts or whatever on the power supply. Yeah. So I just turned the switcher up, and boom, we were off to the races.
Right. Nice.
So nostalgic wise, that's one of my favorite. And then the X-Men 6-player, which Brian, I think a couple years at the Houston Expo, was gracious enough to lend us a working board, because I still don't have a working board for it.
I have one. I bought one. This is how I stay friends with her.
By the way, I know where you can get a TMNT 2-player that's been converted from the Scramble if you're interested.
And I can tell you where to get the 6-player board fixed.
Yeah.
Tell me, please. I have 2 that need fixed that you couldn't fix. Wink, wink. No.
Yeah, no, we tried. We tried. No, actually, so you should contact him. But Ken and I Repair Sega does the Konami boards.
Ooh.
He actually fixed this Coliseum board. So,
by the way, Peter Schneider, Rent My Arcade, also has a cabinet just like that. That is not Coliseum. It is its predecessor.
Time Traveler.
Time Traveler.
Right.
Nice.
I think it actually says Time Traveler under that sticker.
Yeah.
But Coliseum technically is rarer than Time Traveler. So.
Oh my God, that cabinet is gorgeous, Mark. That's just a beautiful. What a great thing to have behind you tonight. That's fantastic. Okay, so we talked about your sort of nostalgic TMNT.
ones, yeah.
So what's your guilty pleasure?
So the guilty pleasure one, and thankfully Mark has one too. So it's been fun, kind of competing back and forth. Is Tutankhamun?
Oh yeah.
The play mechanics to me are kind of garbage a little bit.
Yeah.
But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun.
Yep.
He has all the high scores on my goddamn Tutankhamun.
Yeah, he got the high score saved. So 1 through 10, it says all mine. I'm like, Mark,
AMS.
That's an old school game. That's an old school game. That's a Life magazine lineup game, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Oh my god. This has been a fun show. I think.
Great job. I mean, you bounced back so quickly. It was 6 o'clock and I was changing the battery on the video vendor outside TikTok Space-Time Junction, and I thought Adam was going to jump off the roof. So
yeah, it actually when I called Mark and I told him I got off the phone, I'm like, he probably thinks I'm going to go fucking ape shit tonight.
Well, when I got over to Mark, he was like, I don't know if we're having the show tonight. He's like, it's been pretty interesting. He's like, just stay tuned. I was like, okay.
I like a challenge. And we did a really great job, I think, of like letting all of our regular listeners know where we're gonna be. But I also find it YouTube is like the man. They're like 1984. They're just horrible people in there. And there's nobody you can talk to. There's no.
Why would somebody with zero customer service? Why are they allowed to be the top of the food chain?
Brendan Parker's video. No offense to Brendan, but there's probably like 200 views on that thing, maximum.
And that makes us get a.
We did not monetize either. There was no monetization. So I have no idea why that happened.
You'll know.
I'm going to start my Twitter war with them tomorrow.
Well, we should start ramping up on Twitch here and see if we can get some of our fellow Twitchers to Twitch us every week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Start advertising the Video Game Outsiders on the side or something.
Well, the funny thing is that this is really where we should be. We're a gamer podcast, technically.
Right.
So. Yep. And actually, I've watched a few things on Twitch. I actually, you can watch this on your home TV also. If you have the Twitch app, you can cast it to your TV. And that's pretty sweet. So I've done that for different shows. So if you're one, what I'll do is I'll bring up the Twitch app on my my Amazon Fire TV, and I'll watch whatever it is that I want to do, and then I'll have my little phone here, and I can chat on my phone while I'm watching the broadcast on my big TV. So you can see us in full color and largeness.
Full color.
Ooh.
We'll do a black and white show one day.
We should.
We'll dress up in suits, and Brian will be in his scrubs, of course. So
never.
But there'll be 50s scrubs, so they'll be gray. So,
I just went black and white.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Hold on, let me see if I think I can do that too. Here we go. Oh, look at that.
Now we're old timey. Remember we do the show and we're just like, oh my god, it's so much fun.
Oh, look at that. Oh no.
Oh, high contrast. Holy shit.
Look, I don't know what else I can do. It's blurry. I can't see what's happening.
Oh, that's funny.
Where's the reset button?
What
was that? No.
Red filter is terrible. No.
Oh my god, night vision. I've got all these filters that I've never used before that I'm just like...
I'll turn on the UV one, Adam.
I don't get a lot. Yeah. Let's see where your nipples are warm. Yeah. No, that's not. I'm just kidding.
Oh, we lost like 5 users doing all that shit.
Everybody left.
Well, I think we should wrap it up for tonight. What do you guys think?
That's the best idea you've had.
Seems like a good time.
All right, Aaron, obviously, you guys stick around after the show. You can't go anywhere because Mark's there anyway.
You're trapped.
Where's
You're
my
just trapped.
phone?
All right, here we go. Everybody ready? Yeah. Are you?
No.
What do you mean you're not ready?
No. There we go.
He just says no.
No, you asked. I said no.
No, I'm not ready. And furthermore, I'm not ready.
It's the all right. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, we can do it now.
So we're gonna sign off together.
You got it.
It'll be fabulous, right? Are you sure you're ready now?
I could be ready.
You could be ready.
I might be. You're just gonna have to see. Take the leap of faith.
All right. Well, this has been Arcade Radio. Thanks for listening in on the double R's and such and such and furthermore.
Check out our website, RcadeRadio.com. That's RcadeRadio.com for all of their social media and swag links.
There you go.
Call and leave comments at 612-548-GAME. For those of you that don't know how to use the little letters on the phone, that's 4263.
Hey, are you enjoying the show? Are you enjoying the
I'm
show?
enjoying the show!
Pick up the Arcade Radio swag at teesprings.com/arcaderadio or considering our Patreon campaign over at patreon.com/arcaderadio, spelled in the way where the A is missing at the beginning. There's multiple tiers starting at $3 a month, you bastards. Any bit helps us, Christ!
We love money. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you'll know when we'll be streaming live. Actually, that's not true because YouTube sucks and they are a bunch of assholes and we're never going back there.
Unclick it.
Unclick it. Don't even subscribe to that.
There's a Twitch equivalent of the bell, then click
So
that.
subscribe to Twitch, and I really appreciate everybody for popping over to this tonight. It was very nice to see you all here. Thank you for joining us.
If you like what you're hearing, consider dropping a 5-star review on Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you consume our podcast.
That's going to be it for tonight's show from the Arcade Radio team and Aaron Sanders here. We hope you had a blast.
And we'll see you next episode.
Yeah!
doing that.
Stop.
Ow. Keep smacking the headphones.